Report.
Okay. This is the January 19th, 2024 meeting of the Home Education Advisory Council. And the meeting will be called to order at 2:30 p.m. on a roll call vote for attendance. Heather Barker. Heather's not here yet, but we anticipate she's going to be joining us remotely. Althea Barton.
Present.
Oh, and one thing I did forget to say is that each member participating electronically needs to specify, where is this? I have this all written down somewhere, that why they cannot be present, as well as if there's anyone else with them where they are. And we have to take roll call votes. So Althea, with that, would you advise us, please, ma'am?
So I am present remotely, and I am remote due to family obligations, and I am alone in the room.
Thank you, Althea. Jill? Jill is intending to attend remotely, so we should see her pop on soon. Diane?
Present.
Okay. Rebecca?
Present.
I'm also here. Of note, Michael Klosky will be absent today due to family obligations. Senator Ward
I am here.
and Representative Peternell
Yes.
and Representative Kutak. Is she online with us?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, with that, we do have a quorum to proceed with our meeting. Thank you everyone for being here. First up, we have agenda review. We have had a request to add under item number 8, rulemaking legislative updates. We've had a request to add HB 1402. I don't know if it really matters where we add it, so we can just say aye, and I'm sure we'll talk about all of them.
Sure.
Does that work?
That works.
Okay, great. Are there any other requests on the agenda review? Oh,
Yeah,
I think I see the lovely Heather Barker.
Hi
Hello,
guys,
Heather, are you here with us?
I am.
Great. When you attend remotely, you just have to specify if there's anyone else in the room with you and the reason you're not able to attend in person.
So I'm not able to attend because I'm actually not feeling great today, guys, and I don't want to pass it around. I am in the company of 4 dogs and a cat. There are
Thank
no
you for
humans.
being here. Thank you for being
They're
here.
gonna be
Heather.
noisy, so I'm gonna mute.
No problem. And we'll be doing roll call vote today.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, all right, hearing no other, anything else on the agenda review, we'll move right to item number 3, minutes of previous meeting. Any questions, comments, motions? Senator Ward has moved to approve.
I'll second that, Heather Barker.
Okay. All right, any discussion? On a roll call vote to approve the minutes of November 17th, 2023. Althea,
Yes.
Diane,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Heather.
Yes.
Thank you, and I'm a yes, so that passes unanimously. Thank you. The next item is immediate business. We don't have anything for immediate business, so we'll move on to item 6, Commissioner Report, update from the New Hampshire Department of Education.
Did we want to, Tracy Walbridge is on? I
Oh,
check if that she has.
I'm sorry, I skipped over that. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, I can't count today. Number 4 is public comments. Is there anyone who would like to make public comments? We do ask that you address the council, and we allow 3 minutes for public comments.
Hi, I'm Tracy Walbridge. I'm just on joining just to listen to your committee, as just because I have a lot of parents that reach out to me in regards to special education and trying to understand it. So I'm just trying to understand your committee.
Thank you. Thanks for being here, Tracy. Also, would you identify what town or city you're from for the record?
I live in Rochester.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. Anyone else for public comment? Okay, hearing none. Well, now we'll move ahead to the commissioner's report, our update from the NH Department of Education.
Okay. So some of these items have been on here for a while, so the webpage update. And that includes an FAQ document. I'm actually working on that finally. And I'm looking at probably doing an FAQ document, one for parents and students and one for districts.
Oh,
Because I do get a lot of emails and queries from districts, and it seems to be ramping up recently, so. Not sure why. It may have to do with item number 4. And also on my list of things to do is to develop some type of webinar for districts around home education, and I've also talked to my director, Eric Davis, about doing open office hours once a month.
oh, okay,
A couple of our other folks do that. Our fiscal Mark Ganello does that for BAs in school districts, and basically an hour and a half once a month where I'm just available on a scheduled time during the month to people can we'll do a Zoom and people can come in and ask questions or not. So
okay,
so we're looking to add that into our services, if you will, to non-public or public schools at least.
okay.
So that is on the list to do. The vacant HEAC memberships, those remain unchanged. We haven't seen any nominations come in for the 3 vacant Home Education Association openings. Item 3, Home Education Associations. We have a list on our webpage of, I think it's 5 maybe, Home Education Associations that happen to be, again, trying to update stuff. A couple of the links are broken there. I don't know if those certain organizations exist anymore. So chasing that down, but I have to think there's more than 5 across the state, and I just don't know how to reach them to see if they want to have their information on our webpage. So I didn't know if there was any way for the HEAC membership, or if you had any ideas how we would go about reaching out to those groups.
You have to be careful about putting that information out there with making it appear that the department only endorses certain organizations or.
No more than we have now,
Okay,
right? So I know in another agency I worked for, we actually had specific language saying we do not endorse, this is for informational purposes only.
okay,
Which I would like to add to what but I'll have to run that through our legal. I just want to be as inclusive as I can. Because
absolutely.
again, 5, I'm sure there's more than 5. I'm sure, when I was home educating my daughter and I Googled, I found many more than 5.
Right.
So,
Right,
and if they want to, I mean, we wouldn't put them on unless they wanted to be on the webpage, but they may find it helpful. And, people considering home education may find it helpful if there's different regions or, where these groups are available, or their mission might be different, from organization to organization, and that may align with a particular family better than another. So we just like to look at trying to do that.
okay.
But I really don't know how to reach that group. So I thought I'd ask this body because you are organizations.
Right.
You belong to organizations.
Right,
So how would the partners ask the question of these folks to see if they're interested or not? Is what I'm looking for.
do you think some of that is maybe, do you want me to hold my questions? Should I go ahead and ask them?
No.
Oh,
it's up to
do you
You're the
think
chair.
some of that may be language, because what is an association, right?
Mhm.
Is there, and I would deem that the department should be the first, the entity judging what's an acceptable association or organization, because you could have an organization that's not formally,
Mhm.
right, legally organized.
Right.
And then I've talked to some people where they consider what they do more of a ministry
Mhm.
instead of like organizational work, so it's kind of closed. It's more word of mouth, or some of these places may not have like a public website to find out. So I don't know if
Right.
it'd be helpful to just put the word out that the education department is looking for this, so that, we can make it available or pass along
Mhm.
information. And then it comes to how do you keep up? Because
Right.
sometimes the leaders change.
Right.
How do you
Right.
keep up with that contact information?
Yeah, and that's what I found when I looked at the
Yeah.
5 we have, so I think, I don't know if it was unschooling or there's one on the seacoast, it goes to a dead link now,
Right.
so I don't know if they're even still functioning, so.
Gotcha.
I think there are numerous co-ops in the state that have websites, but they're not associations. They're
Right.
co-ops which do funnel information to
Mhm.
their parents, but they're not an association. They're just defined as being a co-op in the
Right.
state. So I don't know if,
Yeah, so you're saying the department would want to define what the mission of
Yes.
the association, whatever term we want to use.
Right, right.
Is versus maybe a co-op.
Or
Yes.
perhaps the entity themselves, right?
Mhm.
How does this this group of people, because I think it's important, it's a group of people, it's not just one person
Mhm.
pushing out information.
Right.
How do these groups identify themselves too?
Right,
yes,
So maybe just a solicitation to opt on to a information list. Like, does the department ever do like email bursts with information?
well, we do our Friday forum
Okay,
every Friday. And that is geared primarily toward, because again, we don't have home education contacts
okay.
currently on that mailing list.
Mo.
Heather has an idea. Yes, Heather.
So I'm curious, as I'm listening to this, I'm thinking about, so their families are wonder about that, right? Sometimes you run into that at schools and they're like, hey, I want to homeschool my child. I'm not sure how to do that. So I do think that, Tim, you're not wrong, getting information out. I know that a lot of families do go look at the Department of Education's website. They do that. People direct them there. So perhaps whether it's through a Friday forum or some other way, social media. I know the Department of Ed has Facebook, social media. So social media would be a way,
yes.
using Facebook or Instagram to get the information out that you're looking for, to create a place where people could go and see where there are groups that they could reach out to. So really it's just contact information. You're not sanctioning them or any of those things. You're simply saying, here's where you can find this information. Because I was in awe when I first joined this group, how many groups there were, right? So there are a lot of groups out there, co-ops, schools. That, remember, we met the principal of a religious school who was providing parents of home educated students education at those places. So there's so many different ways people can do it. I think having pathways at the website using social media would be really helpful. And also sending it to school districts so they have it. I think that would also be helpful. School districts, they don't know what to do with this stuff usually.
Okay, well, that gives me a starting point to look at, maybe talk internally about what we would want to put on the website as far as type of organizations. And then I can talk with Commissioner and Kim about the social media outreach to maybe start collecting. If, again, it's completely voluntary. I'm
Right,
just trying
right.
to get
It's a
more-
great
more
idea
resources.
to gather this so that it's a resource for
Yeah.
families.
Okay, thank you.
I will say